Hello and welcome back to another reaction. In this occasion, Wakfu Season 3 Episode 2. Yeah, last time was something... Again, I know I use this phrase a lot, but seriously, I wasn't expecting the level of intensity in the episode. I'm so used to Wakfu taking it slow and just kind of accelerating in the end. Uh, but in this case, it just the plot started in the same freaking first episode. Everything that is surrounding this first episode is fascinating because yes, I had the confirmation that Adamai is one of the antagonists or even the villain of this third season, alongside with the rest. Because yes, I do not believe Adamai is going to be alone in this case. I think Adamai is really going to have several other people helping him to gain whatever they want. Because yes, they as a collective want something. I'm not exactly sure what is that, but they want something. Because yes, their excuse, or so far what I think is an excuse, is that they want to protect the world of 12 because they have kind of a moral obligation because they are sons and daughters of God. So yeah, they are demigods, so they have the obligation to protect the world that, I guess, their parents created, let's say. But it's still, I'm not buying that. That is a very noble cause, but they are not using the best methods to achieve it, let's say. I am still in doubt with how or what to think about these people because yes, everything so far screams villain. Everything screams villain. These guys are villains. But perhaps the show is going to give us a twist in the end. I'm not sure. And again, this is just mere speculation. This is something I really don't have enough information to really say, oh, this is going to happen or this is not going to happen or anything like that. I seriously am just speculating. I'm just trying to guess because, yeah, I wasn't expecting something like what happened in the first episode. It really took me by complete surprise. You can see in the end of my reaction that, yes, good lord, what the hell I'm supposed to think about this one. And yes, even though you warn me, there is no filler in this third season. There is not going to be any filler. My guess, I was underestimating the level of intensity, the level of quality even with this third season. Because yes, as I said in the first video, my expectations were high. I was expecting a lot from this third season, but even my expectations weren't high enough for me to be disappointed because yeah, this is amazing. This is a great start for this third season. It's probably the best beginning of the 3 seasons. This is the best beginning I have seen so far. So yeah, I'm completely fascinated by this first episode. And yes, the second episode I hope is not going to be diminishing any of that, or anything that has been happening in this first season. Another thing I want to see, and yes, I know this should be in the commentary, but I want to say it because I wanted to say this in the last video and I forgot to add it to the script. What I want to see is, I don't know, a character development or at least a clear understanding of what Armand is planning or what Armand is thinking. Because yes, so far I don't have a clear idea of what to think about Armand. So I am still in doubt in there. So yes, I want to know what is the deal with Armand. But anyway, hopefully this season is going to deliver something like that. Hopefully, because yes, so far it has been fascinating, and I have watched just one single episode. I cannot wait for the second. So yeah, let's just cut all of these and watch the next episode, shall we? Okay, I'm back. I just watched a second time the second episode of the third season of Wakfu. As I said during the reaction, as I said in the last few moments of the reaction, it is a little bit more calm. Yeah, it starts, in my honest opinion, in the same way as the first one. Very intense, very dramatic, especially with the loss of Evangeline and his son, and of course, well, yeah, those were the two that really were gone, because we saw Eleli dragging Pompon through the snow. So yeah, it is still a shocking image, because again, I'm used to Wakfu being a little bit more kid friendly, a little bit more calm. That yes, we have adventures, we have all of this, but it's not as hard as this reality that we're seeing here. Of course, there are aspects different from the reality, obviously, but it's a little bit harsher than what we used to get from season 1 and from season 2. Obviously, with the exception of the last few episodes. Episodes of both seasons, of both last seasons. Anyway, yeah, it is. It is still hard to see the beginning. I'm not saying that it's completely impossible and I'm not going to watch it or anything like that. No, obviously not to that level. But it still is harder to see this moment, because it is a lot more dramatic. It is a lot more but harsh. I think that is the correct word. I'm trying to look for another word that describes better the situation, but I think the correct word is harsh. Because yes, what we are seeing is a terrible thing that happened to Pompon's family, because they were kidnapped, at least 2 of them, 3 if you count the baby inside Evangeline's belly. 3 of them were kidnapped for whatever reason, and the other 2 are fighting for their life. Literally, Pompon was fighting for his life in a certain moment. His daughter Eleli, it's a little bit more active in this episode, and it's quite spectacular what we saw with her. But anyway, yeah, going in order. Of course, as I said before, we saw Eleli dragging the body of Pompon. Is still alive, but unconscious in this moment. But she's dragging, and it's a very dramatic moment, very harsh environment, and everything that we see here is trying to portray the terrible reality that we're seeing. That really Pompon and Eleli in this moment are not happy campers. I'm not. Yeah, this is kind of hard, but we can take it away. No, the environment, everything surrounding this moment, the colors, the wind against them, the face that we saw when we saw the close-up to Eleli's face and speaking with her father. Everything is to show you that this is a very cruel situation in which they find themselves, thanks to the other guys. Luckily, Eleli finds an empty tree, the trunk of a tree, and she can at least protect his dad from the environment. So yeah, his dad he cannot move in this moment. Pompon is completely gone in this moment. He's way too weak. He received the beating of his life. Well, from a humanoid being. Yeah, because the robot, I think it still counts. But yeah, it is difficult to see this. And yes, once she found the empty trunk, the dead tree, kind of the environment calmed down. The storm or the snow wasn't as harsh as we saw from the beginning of the episode, and everything was kind of better in this moment. Yeah, the snow was still falling, but a more friendly snow, let's say, from at least comparing it to the first snow that we saw in this episode. Of course, Eleli is happy because she saw her dad being alive. Yes, completely beaten, but still alive. So she's willing to do whatever it takes to protect his dad. She's willing to fight the Pandawa, in this case, Po, to protect his dad, and that's what she did. Of course, Poe is overconfident. Yeah, he recognized that she is a demigod. She is the daughter of a god. In that moment, Pompom was a god. So therefore, Eleli still has the power of a god. Not in the same level, let's say, but she kind of does. Before that, we saw the confrontation, of course. Obviously, this is something we need to build up to. We saw again, or we returned to the kingdom of Sanidad with the king, with Amalia, and with Arman. And again, Arman is a very hard character to set, to say, oh yes, Arman is this, or Arman is that. No, because yeah, even though he's speaking in a harsh way, he's speaking with the truth, a harsh reality that yes, their dad is going to die. And I think even the dad knows that. And yeah, he is going to die. He's going to die, yeah. He is not going to survive this weakness or this sickness or whatever he has. And he knows it. And Armand knows this too. And she said, yeah, but we need to get ready to rule Savidad. We need to be ready for that because people are depending on us. So yeah, you cannot stay in the freaking room with your dad because, well, yeah, people need you. You need to be that queen that the people, needs. Of course, Amalia doesn't take this very well because obviously she's mourning her dad. Well, not mourning, but very close. She knows that her dad is not going to survive or is very sick. Deep inside her, I think she knows that he is going to die. So therefore, yeah, that's why he's so worried, and that's why she attacked Armand. And yes, I know this is not gaining a lot of points from those people who really didn't like Amalia from the beginning because she was a brat, etc., etc. Because yeah, she is behaving like a kid in this case. She is behaving very childish, that she doesn't want her dad to be gone or anything like that. So yeah, it's understandable. But and Armand, again, I don't like Armand that much. I was starting to like him in the beginning of the second season when Pinpin returned, because yeah, he was kind of showing remorse, showing a little bit of change, but he returned to this dick personality that he had before. And yeah, it is hard to tell how to set Armand, how to put Armand in which box of character I need to put him, because he was kind of right when he said that they need to look out for their people. He was kind of right. Yes, he was way too harsh in my opinion, but he was right. And yes, of course, the one who settles the argument here is the king said, "Calm down, both of you," etc. I don't want to see any arguments in my chambers, anything like that. But again, Armand has his moments, and I know I'm staying too much time in this little moment, but I think it's something that needs to be addressed. In the last episode, in the first episode of the third season, we saw a very jealous Armand, a very manipulative Armand, that he just wants what he wants, and he's going to make everybody else kind of give him that. Yes, you need to be married, Amalia. It doesn't have to be Hugo, it doesn't have to be anybody else. It doesn't matter. Politically speaking, you can marry one of the brothers of my wife, or one of the cousins, or whatever. Yeah, it was very harsh. Yes, for a king, or for a queen, or for a princess, or for a prince. Yeah, it's kind of expected, but that doesn't change the fact that this is harsh. And yes, my guess, he doesn't like Hugo for the next scene that is going to happen. He doesn't like Hugo much. He's angry because Hugo invaded the privacy in the chamber, the royal chamber. He's mad. And yes, he's delivering a speech and all that, like how dare you, all that, without even really thinking ahead. Hugo is the hero for these people. Hugo saved the kingdom of Sadida at least a couple of times. Yes, one of those times perhaps was his fault because he raised the freaking island and the meteor of the entire island was going to hit everything that's going to be destroyed thanks to Hugo. But again, they don't know that. At least not precisely. But still, he's way too harsh, way too aggressive. Armand is way too aggressive towards Hugo. And again, that's why I think he doesn't like Hugo. That's what I think, that he doesn't like him. He doesn't want his sister to be with him because he knows, and I think everybody knows, that she is in love with Hugo. And I mean, Amalia is in love with Hugo, and Hugo is in love with Amalia. At least so far we have seen in the first season, in the second season, especially during the second season and the specials. It is pretty obvious that Amalia is in love with Hugo and vice versa. So yeah, but he doesn't want her to be married, even though that there's a political movement, Hugo is a peasant and she is a queen or a princess or whatever. No, technically Hugo is a king. He's the king of the Eliatrops. And a little doubt that really happened to occur me a few days ago, that what I have seen, what I have read in your comments, I don't know if the role of king or queen in the Eliatrope people kind of rolls between the six original Eliatropes, the real sons and daughters of the gods. That is something I am uncertain. What I have seen, what I have read so far is that yes, Hugo is a king right now, but somebody else was the king before. I don't know. I'm still not certain of that. Perhaps that makes sense for a race so old as the Eliatropes, that are completely alien to this world and the rules. It makes sense that they kind of roll between the kings, except for Kilby, obviously, because yeah, he provoked something terrible back then. Yeah, it is. I am still fascinated by that. I am still trying to comprehend the real culture of the Eliatropes, because there is so many aspects, so many alien aspects to that culture. That yes, I know that there are a lot of cultures or fictional cultures that appear in this show or any other show, but I find really the Eliatropes weird to understand because all the circumstances that surround well, their culture, let's say. Anyway, yeah, going back to the episode, yeah, you kind of see the animosity for Hugo, because again, Armand is way too aggressive in this moment. Yeah, Hugo didn't have any idea of that. Yeah, he was kind of innocent. Sorry, I didn't want to interrupt. My guess he's just going to follow Amalia or something like that. So, yeah. But of course, thanks again. The father is kind of the voice of reason. Say, calm down, Armand. He's a hero. He's part of the family. Calm down. He's going to be the family when he married Amalia. Again, my shipping goggles are on. Completely on. But anyway. Yeah, discarding my shipping goggles. We saw, of course, Hugo saying, sorry about that, but we need your help. Pompon has been attacked by Adamai, which is something he's not very happy. And we saw a very dramatic moment. Yes, tears from Hugo. But it's obviously. Why? Because his brother, what he considered his brother, his real brother, is attacking a great friend. Probably his best friend, in this case, Pompon. He cannot comprehend that. For him, it's completely alien, that idea that his brother is attacking his best friend, because there is no reason behind that. And of course, Amalia is trying to say, no, I cannot. I have to do this with my people. But of course, the king, again, being the voice of reason, say, no, you need to go. We need to repay all the things that Hugo has done for us, and not only Hugo, the Brotherhood of Tofu, the Brotherhood of Hugo, no, the Brotherhood of Tofu has done so many things for us that we need to repay them, and we need to save Amalia, we need to save Evangeline, we need to save Pompon and their kids, because in this moment they don't know the destiny of any of them, of this family that is really important for everybody, for them. They don't know their destiny. So yeah, they go, they say, no, you go with them. So yeah, you go, and they depart. Again, Armand is not happy. We can see that in the expression he wears in this moment. He is not happy with these circumstances. But he cannot say anything because yes, the king is still alive and he has more authority than him. And he is not going to go against his father. So again, I cannot understand Armand. He's a very complex character. I must say, he's complex, which is in favor of his character. Yeah, most of his complexity comes from the fact that he's a complete douche. True, but that makes him complex. I don't like him, no, but I can appreciate a complex character because I cannot put my finger on what exactly is the mentality of Armand. What is he thinking? So yeah, it is weird. But anyway, we return to this snowy place. I don't exactly know where the Percival family is, but we return to a very close place after the cliff. Of course, we start to see the fight between Eleli and Paul. This is when Paul underestimates Eleli. Yes, she is just a kid. She has what, 10 years? She's 10 years old, perhaps. How a kid is going to defeat another demigod with a lot more experience? So he's overconfident. And yes, he's fast and he's just kind of slapping and all that kind of, yeah, not taking this fight very seriously. But again, it's something kind of creepy because he's enjoying way too much those spankings. Yeah, I don't know why, but I find it kind of weird for me. But anyway, yeah, the first part of the fight is obviously in favor of Po. But unfortunately for Po, Eleli, I think, is smarter than Pinpin, and she's starting to retaliate to this guy. We saw a very spectacular fight between a full adult and a kid. And again, this is something I mentioned during the reaction. This kid is powerful. Eleli is very powerful. I cannot wait to see her grown up and really learn more techniques because she's going to kick so much ass, man. She's amazing. Even this guy cannot against a kid. And he is a demigod. Yes, both are demigods. It's kind of a very balanced fight, let's say. The advantage of Eleli is that perhaps she's a yob and she enjoys the fight, but still, it's a kid against an adult, and the adult, in a certain point, is losing completely. Before, of course, we saw the conclusion of the fight, we saw kind of, again, the moments before death from Pinpin, the second time that we saw this image, thanks to Pinpin. Of course, he's now more conscious, he's not going to also willingly just floating away to the heavens, of the Yob heavens. He's now really fighting against these. So, yeah, the new contract that Rubilax is willing to make, that I'm going to save you, but only if you give me my freedom. So, yeah. Anyway, we know something else I'm going to speak in the end. Anyway, yeah, we don't see anything else, and we return to the fight between Eleli and Po. Again, it's now a very equal fight. Yes, Po is fighting more seriously in this case. Oh no, it doesn't care, it doesn't matter, I'm going to fight seriously. But Eleli is, again, really strong and really smart. She's capable of holding back this beast, because, yeah, that guy, I don't know, he's looks very tall, even taller compared to a kid, but he is still overconfident. But he's getting his ass beat, and I love the fact that he's one of the members that he underestimates. He's given the beating. I love that. And yes, it's a very spectacular fight, very aggressive. Not a lot of techniques or only anything like that. It's more of a visceral fight. But Eleli is really strong, and you can see when she starts to give him headbutts, you can see the freaking environment changing around them. It's pretty spectacular, let's say, and that is when kind of see a glimpse in the plan of the other brotherhood of these demigods. We saw that and they start kind of fight. We return to Hugo, Amalia, and Ruel. They arrive thanks to the freaking machine that Ruel has. And they are looking for them because they know that this is a reality, that they were attacked. That was a reality, and they are looking for them. They go to the forest because they follow kind of the cliff, because that is the most direct way to reaching, well, that place. And of course, we return to Pinpin, and that's when we saw that he has a second arm now, finally. But that arm is Rubilax as the form of an arm. So they make a new contract. Apparently, Rubilax is going to be free after a while. He's going to free this Shusho. I don't know how dangerous that could be, but anyway, yeah. Luckily, this new arm can transform into whatever Pinpin has. Of course, the first thing is making that huge ass sword that is impossible to balance with his own body, and he's going to help his daughter to fight. Of course, Eleli, being a Yob, doesn't want that help. She wants to keep fighting. This is her first real fight, that she has a real chance of winning, because, yeah, the first one was with the Count in the snowy place. He lost completely, and of course, this is a real fight, and she's happy to fight against Po, because she's actually winning. She's beating the crap of this guy, and not only beating the crap, she really destroy him in the end. Obviously not literally, but she was just so powerful. And of course, thanks to one of the screams of Paul, the rest of the group find them, but of course they found a completely beaten Paul. He gave up, and of course LLE not being completely sure if this is a victory for her or not. Say, oh, is this valid? He can do that? Yeah, he's just a wuss. He didn't want to die and anything like that. Of course, oh, no, I'm gonna beat you. And grabs a huge ass trunk and tries to beat him. Of course, it wasn't the reality. She was just messing with him, and she won. We saw a reunion between Pinpin and Amalia, Hugo, and of course Ruel. And LLE, of course. Let's not forget about LLE. They have a reunion. They have a happy reunion. Finally, a happy moment that we saw here. That it was not previous in the same episode to something terrible that was going to happen. But yeah, it was very warm, and that is. This episode feels so different from the last one. The last one is kind of depressing in the end because you saw your heroes completely defeated. This one you see a ray of hope appearing in the horizon. So yeah, it is, I'm not going to say a better ending, but a happier ending for the episode. Of course, we still have a few more episodes to see, and of course we saw how Pinpin is so proud of his daughter because she beat her first enemy. I for a moment thought that was going to be something awful because we saw or we heard the rumble. It was nothing. It was the vehicle from Ruel, and we noticed that of course Pinpin has a new arm. Of course, this is something what we spoke before in the last season, especially in the beginning of the last season, in the second season. That yeah, technically, if a guardian die, the Shusho is free. So Rubilax again has no motive to save Pinpin because if he died, he was free. He could have just stayed there. Oh yeah, sure, die. I don't care. I was free. But of course, again, Rubilax is a softie. I know I don't want to hear the screams from that. So yeah.
Si tu l'ouvres encore, je vais te montrer à quel point je suis sympa.
Okay, calm down, Rubilax. Okay, you are not soft, okay? Okay. Anyway, yeah, it was kind of a happier ending. Of course, they're going to find their new enemies, this new brotherhood of demigods. Obviously, they use the return potions that Poe has with him, because obviously he wasn't going to give any information. It doesn't matter if the beating was harsher or anything like that. He wasn't going to give any information. Thankfully, he has return potions so they can return to the place. Sorry about the noise. Return to the place in which they could find their friends. And that is literally the end of the episode. They just go away. Everybody went away trying to find Evangeline and... I don't recall the name of the other kid. Well, Evangeline and company. And of course to find Adamai, and why is he doing that? I don't know what we're going to see in the next episode, but from what I perceive from these two first episodes, is going to be something way too exciting. And yes, I cannot wait to see the next episode. There are things, obviously, that are hard to understand. How they convince Adamai to follow them. Why Adamai is following them so willingly. Because yes, from what I have seen in the first episode, Adamai is not being controlled or that manipulative. He's willing to do whatever it takes to fulfill the role in this new brotherhood. And my guess that role is to bring back new gods that will really took a more proactive action with this world. That's what I think is going to happen. That's why Paul mentioned something along those lines. That yeah, LLE is going to become the new Yop god or something along those lines. Goddess in this case, yeah, sorry. The new goddess, the new Yop goddess. So that's why they need all of the demigods. That's why they were after the kids of Pinpin. My guess is that they want to defeat the gods, the old gods, because they don't have a proactive role in protecting their own world. So the children have to take matters into their own hands and obviously they don't have any substitution for the Yob god, so they need to grab this new one. My guess, Alamai is going to be, or wants to be, the new dragon god. I don't remember the dragon god. I think it was the one from the Stasis. Correct me if I'm wrong. I don't know who is going to be the Eliatrop god or the new the Eliatrop god or goddess, whatever. But my guess is that they want to change the old gods into new gods, and these new gods are going to protect the real world, or really are going to try to protect this new world instead of letting be, which is a very selfish reason, honestly. Yeah. Again, this is a little bit philosophical, but yeah, I think even in a environment of fantasy, the gods need to be apart from the real world, or from the world that we're seeing in the fantasy. If you put gods in there and they really take actions, nothing is going to change. Everything is going to stay the same. There's not going to be any dynamic in there. So yeah, if that is the real plan they have, I am completely against this, because yeah, it is a very selfish reason, a very stupid reason that yes, we're going to protect, but we're not going to change anything. If you try to change something, you're going to be destroyed by the new gods. That's what I think. Perhaps it has nothing to do with what I'm thinking. I'm just extrapolating something from a stupid idea that I have. But anyway, yeah, that's what I think we're going to see, what they are trying to accomplish. If they're going to succeed, I have no idea. But anyway, I think I really exhausted the topic of this episode. I add a little bit more about what I think is going to happen in the next, well, in the few episodes that we have. Yes, a few episodes left, because come on, man. We only have 11 more episodes. But anyway, yeah, I think I really exhausted the topic of this episode. I hope you enjoyed this reaction / commentary. And, well, nothing else to say that. See you in the next one. Bye. Okay, I hope you enjoyed that video, and yes, thank you so much for your attention, guys. And as always, if you want to leave a comment, that will help me a lot more. If you want to give me a like, that will help me even more to get on the top of the recommendation for YouTube. And if you want to share this video, that will help me even more. So yeah, thank you so much, guys. Thank you so much, guys, for your attention. I hope you enjoyed the video, and yeah, see you in the next one. Bye.